morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
Good. I'm great. Thank you. How are you?
Not too bad, thank you.
Good.
Did you find this spot okay? I know the building's kind of hairy.
Yeah, it was a little tricky how it's just hidden in the corner.
Yeah.
But after I asked a nurse for direction, she helped me out, so it was good. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I am Mackenzie Vaughn here at the inpatient program. I am a licensed clinical social worker, and I am here for you. On this file it says Marcel. Is that what you would rather go by?
Yeah. That sounds great.
Perfect. Okay, so we're just going to go over the spiel and make sure you understand, make sure I cover everything, and then we can start fresh.
Okay.
Our goal here is to get everyone cleared and out in 3 months. And now I know that's not the case for everyone, which is totally okay. But for these first 3 months, you're going to come see me once a week. And it doesn't matter time, doesn't matter day, just once every 7 days.
Okay.
And that's when we're going to do goal planning, figure out what you need from me, figure out what you need from all of us. Okay. After those 3 months, if hopefully you are cleared, then you have a 3-month allotment afterwards to be able to come back at your convenience if you need it. If you don't need it, fantastic. If you do, we are also here.
Okay.
Because this is an inpatient program, you have all of us licensed social workers here for you. You have the nurses, you have the techs, you have everyone. Okay. So if you ever need anything that doesn't require me, fantastic. If you need me, my door's always open.
Okay.
So since this is an inpatient program in a fantastic district, we have plenty of generous donors that have covered everyone's stay here. So
awesome.
There is no payment for anyone that walks through these doors, especially those who are self-referred like you, which is amazing. We all commend you, and that's why we do this.
Okay.
So today we're just going to go over the basics, nasty paperwork. It is what it is. And then we're just kind of going to dive a little deep, kind of get our feet wet in this, and then next week we'll be able to do a lot more like goal planning and figuring stuff out. So this paperwork, the first section is our confidentiality statement. It just says that anything that's said in these 4 walls remains in these 4 walls. And I can't go tell anyone who comes in asking for your name will not get any information or nothing. Okay. We actually will not even tell a person if you are here. Okay. Unless we'll give you a sheet of paper and that you can clear certain names. But if some Joe Schmo calls in and asks for you, it doesn't happen. Okay. The only time I do have to break that confidentiality is if you say something about harming yourself, harming others, or you have the intention or you're involved in activities that could harm other people. Okay. Note taking, I have this big huge thing that I will write notes in because I'm human. I forget. And if you are eerie about this, it is behind 2 locks at all times. It is out here, and when we are done, I will put it in the filing cabinet. Okay. I'll lock that, and when I leave this room, my door is locked as well. Okay. So there is no chance of that ever getting out. Okay. If you are okay with this and feel like this agency and me as a clinical social worker can help you, and you are determined for that, we do require you to sign this informed consent, just saying that you agree with the terms and agree with working with us.
Yeah, definitely sounds great.
Now I know this is a lot of information, but do you have any questions at all? No, not this one. Okay. If you ever do, interject at any point. Okay, absolutely. Okay, so now we're going to dive a little deep. Okay. Some of these questions might be a little personal, but we're here to get personal. Let's just face it. Yeah. And if you have an answer, fantastic. If you don't, then we will. Okay. That's all right, too. First off, what brought you here?
Okay, so, it's been going on really for the past 7 years of my life, but I've just noticed in the last 4 months, it has definitely taken a turn from the worst. So I'm here because I'm struggling with alcohol and substance abuse problems. But within the last 4 months, I have turned to a little harder drugs. I've turned to crack and stuff, and so I've seen it take a drastic toll on my life. So I just wanted to come in here because I'm ready to get clean. I'm ready to better myself, and I definitely want a better future.
Yeah, that's amazing, and that's definitely something we're gonna bring back to everything we talk about. Like the fact that you brought yourself here and that you are wanting to see change in your life is just absolutely huge obstacle to overstep that many people can't do. So again, I commend you for that. So you said that you've been using drugs for how many years?
For 7 years now.
7 years? Okay. And up until now, because of course here we don't allow that, how often do you use, like, let's say, on a weekly basis?
I would say I use like 4 or 5 times, like a week, like a day, out of the 7 days, just simply because who I'm associated with and the people I surround myself with it's constantly there and it's available, and like I don't have a job, I'm not going to school, and so it's there and it's available for me, so that's just what I do.
Yeah. You said that you are unemployed.
Mm-hmm.
How long has that been going on?
Well, I've always been unemployed, but I have been able to make ends meet. So I've had multiple sexual partners with elderly men and stuff, and so I have traded sex for money and drugs. So with the money I've received from there, I've been able to make ends meet of where I've been staying.
Okay. Well, you are self-sufficient. Now, with those numerous partners, have you ever thought about getting tested for STDs or HIV or anything?
I mean, it has crossed my mind before, but I've always been in the mindset like, oh, it's not going to happen to me and stuff. But I definitely have thought about it, and now that I'm here, I am willing to take a test just to see if I am clean or not.
Wonderful. Okay, that's amazing. We will definitely set that up with one of the nurses after we're done here.
Okay, perfect.
So we can get you cleared and get that mindset a little more better as well. Now, you said you've been using for 7 years. Do you remember what kind of triggered that to start it?
Yeah, so when I was 14, my dad had the suspicion that I was gay, and he did not agree with that, and he didn't believe me when I told him, like, I'm not, so he kicked me out, and so so after that, I have met older men that they have been able to take me in and stuff, and I've been able to stay with them. But with coming with that, has come the drugs and the drinking, and even if I wanted to or not do it, I did it. So I think it really began when my dad kicked me out of the house at the age of 14 because I had nowhere else to go, and so that's what I had to do for myself. So I would say, yeah, when my dad kicked me out of the house.
Okay. Do you remember what life looked like before you started using, before your dad assumed you were gay or any of that?
I try to block it from my mind because it's not really something I like to think about as often. But it was my mom, my dad, and I, and then my sister. But my parents, they were also they also abused drugs and alcohol, and they were abusive. If it was physically, emotionally, verbally, they were abusive. So it was a kind of rough start to my life. But for the most part, so I like to spend time outside and play with my friends, like in the neighborhood. But so it was kind of a shaky start for sure.
So you try to block it out because that part of your life was also as bad.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Now you said you've always been unemployed, but do you have any like hobbies that you like to do or would like to take up?
I've definitely taken an interest in fitness, which I've never been a member of a gym. I've never even lifted a weight before, but But I don't know. I see those guys that they have the healthy lifestyles and they seem to genuinely be happy and stuff. So it's definitely something I would like to do more research on and see if it's a great fit for me.
So you think that along with helping your mindset and your brain and like all that stuff, you would also like to help your body as well.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know of the programs that we have offered here?
Mm-hmm.
So we actually do have fitness centers in our building. So that's another thing that I can refer you to, and that is, I mean, it has hours, but it's plenty to be able to get in there whenever you would like. So I will set you up with that as well. Now, I know you mentioned your family and that it's been kind of hairy, and do you have any other people that you would consider your support system?
Well, I do. We do have our own little. So I identify myself as bisexual and stuff. So I've had multiple female and male partners and stuff. And some I do stay in contact with. But for our for the gay community around here, I do have a pretty close network of friends that I can talk to and stuff. But when it comes to like the deeper stuff, I don't really have that person to go to, but I do have a close friend group that I can go and like hang out and do things with.
Okay, so it's more so you have people to enjoy time with, but not to explain life with.
Right,
yeah. Lucky for you, we have something like that on staff too. We do have support groups for nearly everything.
Okay.
They're come and go as you like. We have LGBT one if you would be interested. I can get the times and whatnot. It's not mandatory or anything, but if you do struggle with a support system, I would highly recommend like being able to talk to people who are in kind of the same situation and help that build more trust and confidence in yourself.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so just to recap, we have talked about getting you tested. Also, the fitness program to be able to, even if you use it as stress relief, like it's amazing. And then the support system. But other than that, you've brought up being homeless, being unemployed, and your substance use as like kind of the three major things that brought you here. Is there one more than the other that you would really like to go home?
Yeah, I think the main one I would like to focus on is my substance abuse and alcohol problem. Just because the money that I do make and the time and effort it goes into getting that stuff. So I feel like if I do put an end to that, then I'd be able to get a job, be able to hold it, and then also make money, and then hopefully keep that money and hopefully go find myself a place to live.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, just talking with you, you seem very dedicated to this life change already, which is amazing, and it'll make every step that we have afterwards so much easier. You're also very independent because you have been you had to be self-sufficient by the age of 14, which no one should have to do, but you did it, and now you're here, and we are very excited to be able to help you and to be able to take every step from here on out with you. And if you need anything, like there's plenty of people here that are willing to help. Is there anything else that you'd like to cover really quick, or?
No. I think we've covered. I think I've covered the basis of my main issues and what I wanted to get out.
Perfect. So then next week I will look into what other options we have to work towards, and it'll really focus on what specific goals we want to try to attain.
Okay. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah,
awesome.
Sounds great.
Well, thank you so much for coming.
Perfect. Thank you.
And I will see you next week.
I'll see you next week.